Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Teresa and I'm the car boot crafter. And today's project is about face masks. Not making them, we're not making them today. There's been enough on YouTube about how to make and sew your own face masks. This is something a little bit different. So I don't know about you guys, but this is how I keep my face masks in the bottom of my my handbag. So every time I go into a store, I rummage about in the bottom of my handbag and I bring out this little wallet with this little plastic bag with usually 3 or 4 different face masks, which I then either wash or, in the case of the surgical ones, discard. But I saw this idea on TikTok for a little cardboard or card, should I say, pouch for them, and I thought, I like the idea, but let's take it a little bit further. So this is what I've been making. Little pouches that hold my face masks. So I've got them individually, so I can either put them in, I can even put them in my coat pocket without worry that they're going to pick up you know, bits of fluff or whatever is in there, and also means that I can find them quite easily in the bottom of my handbag. If you haven't got a laminator or you don't like to use laminators, that's fine. You can still use the cardboard method and not laminate like I have with this one. And the idea works with the surgical masks and also with the let's see which one, with the cloth masks as well. So that's a cloth mask. Oops, that's a cloth mask in there. So let me show you how I've made them. So let's pop them to one side and we'll use our surgical mask to do this. I'll give you the sizes, but do remember, because this one, as you can see, my cloth one there is much bigger than my surgical mask. So let me just pop that back in there and put that out the way. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, measure. So I'm measuring in centimetres, but I'll also give you the sizes in inches. But what I did was I measured it in centimetres, and whatever the length of it was, I added 2 centimetres. With your inches, so this is 7 inches, so it would be 7 3/4. So I added 3/4 onto the width. So the length will always be about the same, and this is a great one for using up. So a few of them I've made using the these little I don't know whether they're A5 size papers, but you know, the ones, these paper pads that I mean. But this one I'm going to do in a scrap of card. So my mask measures 18 centimetres across, so I'm going to cut my card at 20 centimetres, or it was 7 inches, so I would have cut it at 7 3/4. There we go. And then the width I'm going to cut it at is 14.5 centimetres, or in this case it would be 5 3/4 inches. So let's just cut all those little bits off and I can discard them for now. So now we have a rectangle of card, and very simply decide which one, well, it doesn't really matter, just which one you want on the outside with this one. But if I was using some of the plain paper, which has a white background, then I would fold it so that the white was inside. So simply fold it in half along the length and then again on the width. It's such an easy project, guys, but I really do enjoy doing this. I'm going to pop my laminator on, so you will hear a little hum, but I want it to be ready for when we are going to laminate. So I've folded in half both ways. Now I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm using some long scissors for this one. I'm going to fold it in half on the long side, and then one of the edges, if this was directional paper, then I would cut at the bottom, but this isn't directional, so I'm just going to cut a very small slit up through 2 lots of paper card, and then I'm going to cut at a very slight angle. So I'm cutting away the crease mark there. Okay, and then I'm going to open it out so we get that. Something we're probably all familiar when doing pockets and the like. Now I'm going to get my corner rounder, and I'm going to corner round all of those corners that I can find. So that one and these ones in the middle as well, so that we've got them. So all 6 corners. Whoops. Do need to get myself a new corner rounder. I think this one is not long, unless somebody knows how I can sharpen it. I've tried tin foil and all sorts and it's not really working. So there we go. Now I'm going to fold it up again like that, and the key to success with this is to keep on creasing. So I've done it that way. I'm going to fold it the other way as well. So I'm going to fold it back like that and really crease down all of those edges and open it up again. And that's the way I want it, so that's the way I'm going to finish. So this is going to be my outside, so I'm finishing with it like that. Then I'm going to bring in my laminating. No, I'm not. I keep forgetting to cut the notches. If you forget to cut the notches, you can do that afterwards, or you can do without notches. It's entirely up to you. So to cut the notches, I'm going to, just below where this curve finishes, I'm going to cut in. Now, people are going to say, how far have you cut in? That's, let's have a look. So I've cut about 1 centimetre, or, oh gosh, 3/4 of a way between, that's less than ½ inch. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So about 6. So that would be about 3/8 of the way in, and then coming across about 2/8, I've made another, and then I'm going to bring my knife in, and I'm going to then, easier if I open it up a little bit, and then cut through between those 2 cuts that I've just made. Such a simple project, guys, but I've made lots of these now because family have said, well, I like that, where did you get that from? And then of course they want one, so I've made a few which I have gifted to family to put in the bottom of their handbags or in their pockets, especially for the guys in the family who have coat pockets and things. It's a much easier way for them to keep their masks if they're carrying them with them. So then I've got my laminating pouch. If you don't want to use laminating, or if you haven't got a laminator, then you can just use it like that. That's your pouch done. However, I am going to put it through the laminator. So I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to buff it right up to the join there, and I'm going to have to take it up a little bit more because I want it in the middle. I want it fairly central. So I'm going to try and make it, yeah, fairly even both sides, just so that we get a good bond to the pouch. Okay, now I don't want to laminate all of these slots. If you've got 2 that you're doing at the same time, then you can add another one here, which I've done before. However, what I'm going to do is, because I don't want to waste it, I'm going to just cut off that bottom piece, and I can then use it for making pockets or for my next one, mask pouch when I'm ready. So I've cut that off, and then I'm going to bring in my, hope that wasn't too noisy, my laminator. I'm just going to put it through. So the light's on, so I know it's good and hot. And I'm just going to push it through my laminator. There we go. It's taking it. They are very hot, so just be careful when you take them out. And I know most people don't, but I always put mine through twice, just because I want to make sure that it picks up on all of those little air bubbles and the like. So what I do is I get my scoring tool at the ready, and as it comes out the other end, I'm going to very quickly, but do be careful, very quickly, because I know sometimes in here is where the laminator doesn't quite catch. So I'm just going to make sure that all of those edges have caught, because I want this to last. And it's going to get a bit of wear in the bottom of, well, this isn't for me, this one's for a family member, so it will get a little bit of wear in the bottom of their handbag. So make sure in those notches as well are well sealed. That's the top, so that should be fine. And I'm just going to pop it back through again, just to make sure that those edges that haven't caught do catch. You can see where it hasn't caught sometimes, because it's like you can still see that kind of sort of hazy look through the card, even though it's been through. So it's a bit overkill probably, but I want to make sure it's working. So that's gone through for the second time. So yep, nearly there. There we go. Yeah, see, just there hasn't caught quite well enough, but I'm going to leave it. I don't like to put them through more than once, but that's a bit that is probably going to be cut off now anyway. So I'm going to use my long scissors. I just prefer to use longer scissors when doing this, just because it means that I can cut a lot more in one go. And I always feel that, you know, when I'm using my small scissors, I kind of get those it's a smoother line, I think, I get with long scissors. So I'm staying away, so about 1/8 of an inch away from the edge of that card, just so that the laminating keeps a grip there, so and doesn't come apart. So all the way through, all the way up. And these bits I'm not going to throw away, I'm going to keep these, because these make really good danglies. So, you know, if you're making box cards or anything, if you put a butterfly or something on the end and then glue that or stick that in, then you've got a little dangly, rather than using or you can bend them so that they bend and they hang down, rather than using acrylic. This is the same stuff. So I'll keep those to one side. I'm also going to cut up very carefully in the middle as well, because we want that to be in two flaps. So very carefully, again, making sure I'm staying about 1/8 of an inch away from the card. I'm going to bring my knife in so that I can get nice and close in there. And even that piece I will keep for dangly purposes. Now that that's done, I'm going to go round again with my corner rounder, because those edges can be quite sharp, can't they? So let's just do that. Maybe this is why my corner rounder's not doing so well at the minute, because this is 2 layers of plastic that I'm asking it to go through there. And so there are 6 corners that I need to go through. If you haven't got a corner rounder, then of course use your scissors. If you prefer not to use your corner rounder tool, if you don't want to wreck it like I possibly am here, then use your scissors and go round. Works, you know, works as well. So we've done that, and the last thing that we want to do now is to cut these little notches out. So again, very carefully cut down both sides and across. Now I do these individually because if I try and do them all in one go, it just doesn't really work. And I mean they're such small cuts that it doesn't take more than a few minutes. You can't quite stay at 1/8 of an inch, so go as close to the card as you dare. If you look really closely, you can usually see how close the bonding is with the laminate pouch. So there we go. Those little bits I will discard. So once we've done that, we can now fold in. So that was my outside, the blue. So I'm going to fold it both ways. Again, like I said, the more wear these have, the better they close. So I'll just keep folding it backwards and forwards a couple of times just to make sure we get a good fold on there. And the same across there like that. And again, like that. Excuse me, dry throat. I'm just going to have a little swig of my water. Oh. It's sort of, the weather's sort of warm, but not warm enough not to have the heating on, so it does get very dry in this room. So there we are, that's it finished. So I'm going to bring in my mask. Now what you want to do is, so this, if you're using the surgical one, so the end, this is the end with the metal bit that holds it over your nose. So this, put at the top, and this is the inside, that's the outside. So always put it that way around so that you're folding the inside on itself. So put the metal bit at the top. I try and line up that with the pack, with the notches there. Then fold it over, bring these up and fold it in half. The metal bit will fold as well. And this is the key. You're going to grab those loops and you're going to twist them. And as you twist them, pull them into those little notched bits and then hook it round like that. If they haven't quite caught, then just push them up like that. And there we go, your laminated face mask pouch that you can use for surgical masks or for cloth masks, as long as you twist the ear, or the elastic should I say, as long as you twist the elastic and they go through to the notches. You might have to take into consideration, depending on how wide your elastic is, and maybe do your notches a little bit bigger. But there you go. So those are laminated, and those two are unlaminated, but they do the same job. It's just that these ones I will have to replace sooner than my laminated ones. So there you go. Those are going out to friends and family, and each will have a surgical mask in after I've wiped them down. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you like the idea of having these little pouches. I like the idea that I can pop that in my jacket pocket, because there are times when I go out and about that I don't take my handbag with me, so that is going to be in my jacket pocket rather than trying to carry a plastic bag like that, which can get quite bulky. Okay guys, well yeah, see you in the next video. Bye for now.